How y'all doing out there? Yes, sir. Yeah. Take it all in, baby.
Football knowledgeable, faithful, most caring folks in the world, the Redskins faithful. Whole stadium is shaking for the second year in a row. UNC champion. Redskins 24, 49ers 21, 21 credit to Bobby Bender. That's on earlier. Jack kept up. That was a real, maybe kind of sorry it took to get a Doug Williams, but also they're almost 1-1 in coaching.
Reconciliation. Long time winning.
Again, we are live. Just as we were yesterday at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, we are 30 minutes away from kicking off. And here in this stadium, they have sold out for Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. You know, they are 7-0 in playoff games here at RFK. In fact, you've got to go way back 44 years ago to when the Redskins last lost a home playoff game in this city.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Redskins Nation. We are broadcasting live from the nation's capital on the Southern Road Show. As you see, this is a Redskins radio sports show. Today will be our first episode. We will be talking about the Redskins' history and its upbringing in our first segment. Right here, I'd like to give y'all a little history on George Preston Marshall. George Preston Marshall, founder and a Native American, 1932 was the year he embarked on a vision to give his Indian heritage a face in the United States of America. When he finally got the chance, Mr. Marshall did just that by buying the Washington Redskins, which was founded as the Boston Braves. The name of the Washington Redskins changed in 1933 and then moved to Washington, D.C. in 1937, which is his home now, where they played over 1,000 games, leading to 5 conference championships, 3 Super Bowls, 14 division championships, and 24 playoff appearances, which at RFK, they never lost not one in the playoffs. Later on in 1963, George Preston Marshall took ill, and in 1969, he later died. So that was a period in time where George Preston Marshall was perceived as racist, and we're not really going to dig into that. We're here to honor that man and honor what he did for the Redskins and show the true face of them. And, you know, they uprooted from Boston. They were the Boston Redskins for, I believe, 4 years before they uprooted and came down to Washington, D.C. and became the Washington Redskins. Okay? So now, with the help of my host, Ro, he's going to speak a little bit about playing at Griffin Stadium, which is now Howard Hospital.
What's up to all the Redskins fans out there? I'm just going to talk a little bit about Griffin Stadium and the Redskins' history. Basically, the Redskins, when they moved from Boston, they needed some place to play, and Griffin Stadium is the place that, you know, which George Marshall chose to move his team to.
Okay.
Griffin Stadium is now Howard University Hospital.
Yes, sir.
So it's on the campus of Howard University, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So George Marshall moves his team down here in 37 And from there, in '71, George Marshall passed. When did he pass?
That's 1965.
19.
He took ill in '63.
Okay,
Yeah.
so George Preston Marshall passed in '69, and in '71, since we are talking about the name change, since that's such a big, huge issue,
Yes, sir.
we're just going to give a little information and make sure, just so that everybody has accurate information on what's happening as far as the name change go. The name change, the original logo with the Indian came from the Blackfeet tribe.
Okay.
And the Blackfeet tribe is a tribe located in Montana.
All right.
Their president at the time, or one of the historical members at the time, was Walter Wetzel.
Okay. Hi.
And Walter Wetzel came to the Redskins. At the time, he was the president of the National Congress of Indians, the same supposed congressional body that opposes of the name right now.
Okay.
He was the head of it at the time.
And they were all for it.
And yeah, because he was the head of it. He's the one who actually came to the Redskins and said, "Hey, this is how you, if you want to represent us, this is how you represent us." And he brought a picture of the Buffalo nickel, which had 2 guns on it, which is a famed Blackfoot tribe member. And so that's actually where the Redskins logo came from. It's actually a real person, and his name is 2 Guns, and it derives from the Buffalo nickel. And this guy Walter Wetzel was the one who brought this idea to the Redskins. Now the thing about Walter Wetzel that people don't realize is that Walter Wetzel had been around the organization since its inception. His father was one of the family members with George Marshall. So I'm pretty sure that this is why this guy Walter Wetzel had special ties within the organization to be able to get something like that done. So obviously his family was really entrenched in the ownership of the organization.
So now this Wetzel family, is this the family that Daniel Snyder has seen in a picture taken on FedEx Field, I believe, back in 2014?
Yes, the Wetzel family is in full support of.
So they're still around.
They're still around. The Blackfeet Nation is in full support of the Redskins.
Okay.
Yeah.
For you guys who don't know about the Blackfeet tribe and Blackfeet Nation, you can type it in on Google, look up the Blackfeet tribe. You can look at some of their historians and see how they kind of resemble the emblem that's here on the Redskin emblem. It resembles it so tough. So, and then when they go back and speak about this being a racist, derogatory word, they even went so far to say Redskins N-word for Indians. And me and you both know that's not true.
Absolutely.
We both know for a fact. Even yesterday, we watched the documentary. I mean, not a documentary. It was a Zoom. With a guy by the name of One Wolf. If you're out there, One Wolf, know that me and Ro are all the way on your side. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stand beside you. We'd like you to stand beside us as well when we do our thing. You know what I'm saying? But leading on to what else I was saying, One Wolf said that Redskins is actually a warrior. Redskin, Redman, is a warrior. Okay? A warrior who fought for their people that were getting attacked. You know what I'm saying? You hear about the Cowboys and Indians. Redmen and Redskins were warriors. That is something that they want. One Wolf stated that I don't want this. 90% of the people who are Native Americans do not want this. So what is this 10% about that they speak about? What is this 10% of people? We really want to know about this 10% of people who want to come in and change something that's a history and try to wipe out the Native American. I don't like
I think that the name change thing is at the end of the day, it represents the Blackfeet Nation. And when you look at the traditional way of the Blackfeet Nation, and when you look at the Blackfeet Nation as a whole, you see that this is where the Redskins. These are Native Americans that the Redskins organization is representing.
Yes, sir.
So if they are in full agreement, which they obviously are, because they're protesting against the name change, they feel it's in honor of them. Um, and when you look at their traditional way, I think it's hard not to see that. And I think they deserve to be represented too. If they're in agreement of it, who is any other nation or any other Native American, because they're obviously not talking about you.
Yes,
That's the first thing. And secondly, I think another thing that needs to be recognized is that I feel like, okay, you know how there are puns. So there's the word that sounds like one thing but has separate meanings, different meanings, like throw, for instance. You could say through, not throw, through. Okay, I ran through something. I'm through with something. That's a totally different. I threw something. That was all different meanings. All of those are totally different meanings. So I believe the scalping thing that people talk about, they refer to, I believe they were saying red skinned, which sounds like red skins, which is two totally different meanings. So when you talk about the name change, I believe that it was a super certain group of people who conspired to use that pun to their advantage and take advantage of a certain people who are being honored.
Who are being honored in a way that they don't think that they should be honored because they stole their land.
Right.
So they want to wipe their history. And I don't think that's right. No one's history should be wiped out. I think everybody's history should be well confined in its own entity. And it should be true.
Right.
And it should be held to the truth. Not to only lies for some money, 10% of people who are money hungry. But right now we're gonna go to commercial and pay some bills. We'll get right back to you people, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You're on the Redskins Nature Southern Road. Your host. Thank you.
Stadium, where again we are live. This is where we were yesterday at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. We are 30 minutes away from kicking off. And here in this stadium, they have sold out for Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. They are 7-0 in playoff games here at RFK. You've got to go way back 44 years ago to when the Redskins last lost a home playoff game in this city. He's getting up, it's absolutely incredible. That's the record, and the whole record is any business situation.
To break around 10 and some change, so commercial usually run about 3 or 4 minutes after the leave.
Yeah, you want to get that. I just wanted to get some audio fixed up.
Are you ready? gentlemen, we are back on Redskins Nature. Here with your two hosts, Sun and Rose. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we just got through talking about the history of the Washington Redskins. Now we're going to jump right into the staff changes and the upcoming talent that we have aboard. First of all, I want to talk about the new players and staff. First, I want to start off with the head coach, Ron Rivera, coming out of Carolina. I think, honestly, that Ron Rivera is what we needed at this point. I think we need a change of pace and some discipline around here that we haven't had in a while. And I'm saying a while since like Joe Gibbs and Greg Williams, that whole tandem that we had back then. I think that's what we'll see with this tandem of Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio. Back to Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, it was, I believe. And he ended up not winning due to the defense of Jack Del Rio. I'll say Cam's nightmare. And that proved to be, again, what we call defense wins championships. I do believe that Ron Rivera, if he had better talent around Cam and a better supporting cast with a defense around Cam, they probably would have beat the Broncos. But give him much credit to Ron Rivera and what he's done and how he sees players and his no-nonsense approach. I believe that we'll be on a better track looking forward to the future with Ron. I believe his track record speaks for itself. You will never meet a guy with harder work ethic and believes in his product more than him. So you like to have guys like that around the league. And what's your thoughts on Ron Rivera?
Well, I think Ron Rivera is an interesting choice. It's an interesting choice at coach for a number of reasons. And the thing is, the main reason I think Ron Rivera is an interesting choice at coach is because, one, he took the job without having a GM.
Okay.
Without even knowing who his GM was going to be. That was a very interesting decision. Most coaches I know wouldn't have done that. So that was the first thing. It reminded me a lot of the Zorn pick when we hired Zorn as the offensive coordinator, and we didn't even have a coach at the time.
Yeah, we all know how that ended up.
Yeah, so Zorn ended up being the coach, and it just was it started out well.
It did.
It started out well.
We started out 4-2 and then went 2-6.
Right. It started out well, but I think it showed us ugly rain afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about the Rivera hiring. That's the part about it that reminded me a little bit of Zorn. But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
What do you expect out of Rivera? What are you gonna get out of Rivera?
Well, what I expect out of Rivera is what I just said. Something we haven't had in a long time, right? Discipline within that locker room. I think it's been too much lollygagging. Let players do what they want to do. Hey, you go hop here, you go hop there, you can hop anywhere you want. And I believe, people like to say Jay Gruden wasn't like that. But if y'all been reading reports here lately, y'all see how laid back Jay Gruden really was. Anywho, I'm not even going to dig into that. That's a whole messy situation. For y'all who know about it, y'all can dig into it for yourself. But just that action alone that he displayed, you have a wife, you have kids, and you put them through this type of, riffraff with things that we did as teenagers.
Absolutely.
So we have a girlfriend and, you know what I'm saying, another girl. That's things as teenagers. You're married. You don't do that type of stuff. Anywho, back to Ron Rivera. I think this guy has a strong head. I think he has a strong mind. I believe that, like I said, he believes in his brand. And if you have somebody who believes in their brand, there's nothing for them to get somebody else to believe in it just as well. And I believe he works with men well. He knows the harder men, and he seeks the harder men. So I believe with Ron's hiring, that's what Dan was trying to do, conquer the locker room again. You got to think about it. We lost so much. We lost Trent Williams. We lost Josh Norman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We lost all these guys.
Right.
And where do you pull these guys? Who do you bring to pull these guys back together?
Right.
Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So
Yeah.
on to the next one. I would like to, get your thoughts on Jack Del Rio. To me, I mean, you don't even have to say no word. I really don't even speak about the man because you really don't even have to speak about the man. But what do you think about it?
Well, Jack Del Rio, I feel like was the perfect hire for this defense. I mean, when you look at his track record, he coached in Carolina in 2000. He coached the Ravens. He was the linebackers coach for the 2000 Ravens team, which is one of the best defensive teams of all time.
Yeah.
Then in 2002, he took that Carolina team that nobody guessed would be effective, and he took that team and to the Super Bowl. Him with Julius Peppers as a rookie, and when you look at what he did with Julius Peppers that season, Julius Peppers was extremely dominant, and that team went all the way to the Super Bowl, a team that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Then you go fast forward to Denver.
Yeah.
In 2012, he took that team and took Von Miller, and you saw what you got out of Von Miller. And so you fast forward after that, you know what I mean? He's here with Chase Young. And so when you look at Julius Peppers and when you look at Von Miller, the type of career is dominant play that they've had, I mean, it's the perfect hire. Yeah. I don't see no weaknesses. I mean, he calls plays effectively, good pressure. He does pretty much everything you want as a defensive coordinator. I mean, now I will say is maybe third and long. He can work, maybe that's something he can work on. If you're going to say anything, I think that's the one thing that can be noted is third and long. But other than that, I'm not. I have nothing but positive things to say about him.
Yeah, and you can also account for his third and long to his lineman up front. Maybe he never had a Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and Ian up front. And when you think about it, has he ever had that up front to go with his linebackers complement? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he had that amount of talent up front. I think he might have had one or two guys. He's never had a clear three that he can use across that front, or a four, because we have four if you want to be honest. Yeah. And let Chase Young get down on all fours, Ian Nice on the end, and Deron and Allen in the middle.
Absolutely.
So I believe that, what you said is accurate. I believe if he brought a player like a Khalil Mack or a player like a Von Miller.
Oh, yeah, Khalil Mack.
Yeah, he had Khalil Mack.
I didn't know that. Yeah, he had Khalil Mack as well.
With the Raiders. So which in 2016, he carried them guys to a 12-4 record. Let's not forget that as a head coach.
Oh, okay. I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I was just talking about his work as a coordinator.
Yeah.
But they were 12-4.
They were 12-4.
Absolutely. That's something that needs to be noted. So his resume is impeccable.
It's impeccable. It's like it's not a flaw.
Yeah.
It's not a flaw.
His resume is impeccable. He has a ring. He's taking rookies, he's taking young players, and he made them superstars.
He has 2 rings.
With 2 rings. Oh, okay.
Ravens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Ravens. Yeah, as a coordinator, he has a ring. Yeah, absolutely. So it's impeccable. I'm very impressed with Jack Del Rio after checking him out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now we move on to everybody's main topic, and it should be, because if you know anything around here, this defense has stepped it up to a whole nother level. But what are we going to do with, as my co-host likes to call it, this horde offense we're going to drag onto the field, as he says? With leading that horde offense, Scott Turner. Now, this is Scott Turner's 22nd season. He's entering into an NFL. Now, this will be his first as a coordinator with the Redskins. I don't really know too much about Scott Turner. I really didn't feel that I had to, look him up that much just off of what I know about Scott Turner. I'll tell you this. I know the boy can produce a bad running back. I don't know about his game flow, how he coaches. I know one thing that, we did that to them last year, and we shouldn't have done that to them. So, to me, I think it's some problems there with the game play calling and how you should go out to win and you should go to blood and, gut someone. Because, to be honest, we were talking about this earlier. You said that Kyle Shanahan was one of the best at it. He would get up on you 28-0, and just make sure we win the game. He done it plenty of times with RG3. After we were 3-6, throughout that 7-game winning streak, we had some tough games, but we did have a couple games where we were up on people, like Dallas. If y'all remember on Thanksgiving, we ate that turkey. We ate it good. Them were garbage pail points that they got on the back end. 38-31. They had garbage pail points. You know what I'm saying? So I want somebody like that. Stick that dagger in them and make sure they don't. So what are your thoughts on Scott Turner?
Woo!
Sound like
all right, I'm tell you, Redskin fans. Let me tell you something, Redskin fans. Okay, you got Scott Turner, and when you listen to him talk, and I listened to him talk, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't know much about him before we hired him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that Noah Turner's son was running the offense down there in Carolina after he left.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that his son took over there. So the only thing that my first encounter was when he did an interview with, I think, Channel 4 or something, and I watched it, and I watched him, Larry Michael, I think, was talking to him. Somebody was talking to him, and it sounded good.
Okay.
So my first opportunity to get a chance to see what Scott Turner had to do was the night, I think last night, we went, and I sat down and broke down the film. And what I'm gonna do is I broke it down in two spots. I wrote it down here. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it.
Give me your thoughts.
So
let's see what you got.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over the positive and the negative.
Okay.
The pluses. I like the play design of his sweep and his counter. That's the pluses. Those are really good looking plays. The way he calls them, those plays look good. Those two in particular plays. It's a sweep he does, and it's a counter that he does, a run. Those are both runs.
Well, see, that's what I told you. That's all I know about him.
Right.
Because he produced Christian
those plays were a large reason why he had the success. Those two plays, those two were a large reason he had the success with Christian McCaffrey. Okay. Then he does script plays kind of early. He's decent. I wouldn't say great, but I can live with the way he script plays early in games. When the game is first starting, I can live with it. You know what I mean? The way he script plays, he kind of keeps you off balance a little bit. But that's all I can say.
Well, on my hand, I might have to play a little bit of devil's advocate because, as we all know, Cam was on a decline. In 2018, shortly after they went to the Super Bowl, which was 2016, I believe.
Right.
2015, something like that.
Right.
They went to the Super Bowl. He started declining. So in 2018, Scott Turner started serving as his quarterback coach also, as a coordinator. Little did I know. I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? And during that time, he helped Cam Newton kind of get back to the old Cam Newton we used to see run around, leave the pocket, look downfield, get some scrambles here and there. It wasn't that many big plays. That's why it was only 67.9% for that year. You know what I'm saying? But in doing that, Cam Newton had 11 consecutive games where he posted 2 touchdowns. And that was, record breaking.
But was that under Scott Turner?
That was under Scott Turner. Yes, sir.
Okay.
94.2 passing rate.
Under Scott Turner.
Under Scott Turner.
Gotcha.
So, in my eyes, some good can come out of this because in my eyes, Dwayne Haskins has a bigger gun than Cam Newton. Other people may say, "Oh no, he doesn't." Look at it. He does. He has a bigger gun than him, and those plays that were designed to go downfield, that were monster plays that Cam could not reach last year, Dwayne Haskins will reach this season.
Right.
I believe. Now that's the only bright spot that I can see so far. But I'm looking here at some stats that I'm reading about him, and it looks like my man, this wasn't his first stint with the Carolina Panthers. He was with them back in 2011 and 2012. Okay? This wasn't his first stint with them, so he knew them guys a little bit, knew how they like to run things around that building. He came back in and gave him a spot for Christian McCaffrey. Last season, he was what? 1,000-yard man.
But see, that's where
and running back.
But that's where I haven't gotten into yet. I haven't gotten into the negative part of it yet.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm gonna really discuss how I feel on the negative side. You touched on it already.
Yeah. I mean, I just touched on it because I know that for me, those were some of the negative feelings that I've had. You know, like what can he actually do? Is he going to actually do this? So, like I said, Christian McCaffrey was a bright spot because he, you know, a lot of people thought that we would get Christian McCaffrey. We ended up not getting him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I wanted to see what a team would do once they got him. And hey, that was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Pretty bright spot, man.
All right. Okay, this is my negative when it comes to Scott Turner, as far as play calling, what I saw, and this offense as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
He struggles getting receivers open.
Yeah.
So whatever plays he's calling for, whatever he's doing, receivers were not getting open last year. His deep passing is non-existent. I watched several games. I watched more than half this season, and I think I saw maybe one or two deep passes more than 40 yards down the field. And I think when you give him what we have in Haskins, what's his strength? To me, Haskins' strength is his gun. It's his ability to throw the ball downfield, and that was non-existent for Carolina last year. I mean, it was bad. His pass protection. Yeah. I don't know what was going on with them last year, but they could not protect the passer. Okay. It was like a whore. I'm talking about. It was a whole bunch of sacks. You know, I don't know whose fault that is, but I know this is the offense that he was calling. Yeah. So, you know, and we're trying to assess him. Okay, so then his offense was very predictable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something else that I saw. Then once a defense figured him out after he came out with a good run, once a defense figured him out, it was hard for him to punch back. That's another thing that I saw so many holes in his offense. Yeah. I'm generally concerned when it comes on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, when it comes to the Scott Turner, I'm concerned. Jack Del Rio, I think we're going to have a top 5 defense. I can see that easily. Yeah. With this offense, I am highly concerned because I'm not sure that Scott Turner was the right person for the job.
I think I'm about to change your mind on that. Now, I believe with a guy like Antonio Gibson, a back like him, a powerful back, to add to the combination of Darius Geis and AD all day, and possibly Bryce Love. With those 4 guys, I don't think Carolina had that. Carolina had the backfield that we had. So with the backfield that we have, you're able to pose more of a threat to your run. So when you're running the ball, you get them going head steam upfield, and you're over top of their heads with big plays downfield like we seen with Haskins last year. And really a mediocre offense because he didn't have the whole offense. So it's mediocre. He had little bits and pieces of the offense. You know, I seen Haskins work through that, and I believe that Haskins is ready to step up to the next level. And I also believe with the guidance of Scott Turner, utilizing his 4 backs that we have, we can do something big.
Even with that, I don't think the running game is the problem too much.
It's going to be if you want to have a passing game downfield, the running game is going to be the problem.
Now this is the thing. Most of what Scott Turner was calling last year was a lot of dink and dunks. So when you're calling a lot of dink and dunks, the only way you will be able to run the ball successfully, I feel like, is you got to stretch the field to back them safeties up a little bit. Okay. And I'm not sure that Scott Turner's offense or his play or his pass designs causes a threat downfield. I just didn't see it last year. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I just didn't see it last year.
That's what I'm saying. So do these things stand in the way with his new staff that he's put? Now, yes, it's new staff. This is new change, and things are up and coming. We got up and coming talent as well now. So he has new pieces that he didn't have in Carolina.
If you think if he could have done it, if he's capable of doing it, meaning designing plays that get players open downfield, if he's capable of doing it, why didn't he do it last year? Is the question.
Well, I think the question will be answered this season. It will show you why he didn't do it last year because
I don't think he's capable of doing it.
I don't think he had the same time.
I don't think it's the talent is the problem. So, no, like for instance,
Wide
you use
receivers.
Kyle
Wide
Shanahan
receivers. Who was their biggest players in wide receiver?
last year,
Yeah,
and it'll probably be DJ Moore.
that's what I'm saying.
I
And
believe
DJ Moore, and DJ Moore is what? He's not the starting wide receiver.
you got Devin Funches, but I think he was hurt a lot last year.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. When you look at our plethora of receivers that we have here for him to throw to, it's a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying?
How so?
It is. So you had DJ Moore and Devin Funches, but Devin Funches was hurt last. So
We had Terry McLaurin.
we can't even name the other guy that's on the field.
Curtis, it is.
You know
Curtis
what I'm
Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, I mean, but like you say, who was the number one man? DJ Moore.
DJ Moore probably is.
You know what I'm saying?
Second, yeah.
Yeah, but when you
But
go
even
there,
then,
the talent does not match our wide receiver class. That's
well,
what
how
I'm
do
saying.
okay? I got a quick question. How do you know whether it was the talent or was it North Turner? I mean Scott Turner. Sorry, was it Scott Turner or was it the talent?
That's what I said. We will see this season the Redskins nature out there. All right, people, we're about to wrap this part of the segment up. We will be right back. Pace up deal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys here on the Redskins Nature Show. Center Row. Thank you. So we right here. I think that was a good segment. So we come back, we're going to.
This is where we were yesterday at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. We are 30 minutes away from kicking off. And here in this stadium, they have sold out the Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. You know, they are 7-0 in playoff games here at RFK. In fact, you got to go back 44 years ago when the Redskins last lost a home playoff game in this city. The blocking he's getting up front is absolutely incredible. That's the record, and it held the record that Jimmy Smith is just doing.
All right, ladies, welcome back to the Redskins Nature Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Redskins Nature Show with your two hosts, Son and Roe. We're going to get back into these staff changes and up and coming talent. We're going to get into our quarterback coach right now, Zach Zimpani. Now, I've heard a little bit about this guy. I mean, I said Zach. I mean, his name is Ken. Sorry about his name is Ken Zimpani. This is 22nd year entering the NFL. Redskins quarterback coach for 2020. Looks like he played roles with the Cleveland Browns. He served as a variety of roles. It looks like looking here at this chart. He was with the Browns in 2018. He was with the Cincinnati Bengals from 2003 to 2017. He was with the St. Louis Rams from 2000 to 2002. Wow, I didn't know that. He was also with Green Bay Packers 1999. I mean, he showed Brett Favre a thing or two. Philadelphia Eagles in 1998. Okay. So now, last year he didn't do anything in the NFL. He was in the AF.
And this is
our quarterback coach.
Yes,
sir. So, so what he did, he basically taught Baker Mayfield how to be a quarterback. Got Baker Mayfield on the field. Despite starting just 13 games, he passed for 27 touchdowns. And had 3,725 yards. So setting the Browns rookie doing that. And ranking 6th among all NFL rookies.
Absolutely. I think that guy is what he did for Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna be honest. Baker Mayfield looked good in that first season.
Mm-hmm.
Under Zim. What's his name again?
Zimpani. Ken Zimpani.
Yeah. Under Zimpani.
Yes,
to be honest, Baker Mayfield did look good.
Yes, he did. I mean, you can tell by the numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers do not lie.
Second season with Baker Mayfield. Last year, was he there? Or did he take last year off?
No, last year. He was, like I say, last year he was the coordinator and the quarterbacks coach of Atlanta Legion of the Lions.
So he wasn't with Cincinnati.
He was no NFL.
So exactly. So look at the regression of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
When he left.
Yeah.
As opposed to when he was there. Yeah. And it still was under Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens was there for both ends. Yeah. So the fact that now when Zimpani leaves, all of a sudden Baker Mayfield is not progressing. His progression is on the decline. So that's something that goes to say this guy might be good for Haskins. Yeah. I do believe that the system is going to tell it all too because Haskins' script is his arm. And I just feel like the Redskins should be running an offense similar to the Kansas City Chiefs because they use Patrick Mahomes' arm strength as a weapon effectively. I think that they should be doing the same thing.
It's evident. He led all rookies in completion percentage.
Baker Mayfield?
And in passing rate.
Right.
Not only in passing rate, but in passing yards and touchdowns.
Well, okay. So
that's 4 categories.
Right.
That he did not, that he struggled in the next season.
But he just led rookies.
But that was rookies. It's really not too much that we did. And honestly, do I care? No, because we on to a whole new phase, a whole new season. It's time to
get
everything right.
Hold up, our last year. What are we looking like?
Yeah, 1 return for a touchdown.
I know that, Steve. You said that was in the Dallas game, I think.
It was only 1. So a touchdown. We didn't allow any touchdowns.
No, that was in the Patriot game. Oh no, that was the reverse when he scored on the Patriot. Or was that a a kick return. Remember the Patriot game, Steve should have scored.
Kick return on that. It might have been.
I know Steven Sims scored in the Patriot game. Right in the Dallas game.
Okay. Now you asked about Steven Sims.
No, I'm saying what I mean with the kicker, with the kick was the kicker who our kicker was and what's his numbers look like. Because if you're talking about special teams coach, that's the first thing you need to talk about is the field goals and the field goal game. The punting game is good and everything that helps the defense out. But when you're talking about special teams, you really want to start with field goal.
Justin Hobson was the kicker.
What was his number?
He was 7 for 8, 20. Yeah, 7 for 8.
7 for 8.
Yeah, 7 for 8 at kicks, 20 to 29 yards. Then he was 8 for 9. He was 39 yards. He was 40 from yards 40 to 49 out. He was 8 to 10, 8 for 10,
80,
50 plus, 2 for 3.
Oh yeah. Well,
okay.
We got a good special teams coach there. Everything started around the board, seems like.
Treshway had 79 punts for 3,919 yards. Steven Sims had 6 punt returns. No TDs. Longest return was 11 yards. Steven Sims returned, yeah.
That ain't that good.
He returned 32 kicks, 819 yards, and scored a touchdown, being 91 yards long.
Yeah. But I think that's not that good.
It's not. Like I said, they didn't light it up.
Punt return wise, the kick returns he wasn't bad.
I mean, kick returns, he was really supposed to be. I think punt returns in this
Who else was returning punts other than him last year?
Trey Quinn.
Oh, that's what the problem was. I used to say,
I believe Trey Quinn is a problem.
Yeah,
he's a problem on the field and passing and getting the ball to him, because although Trey Quinn can run a route, he is not fast enough. He is noisy, more physical enough. Thank you. You have to. You cannot get separation, being a little pity pat, running your little route and breaking like this and turning. Ain't nobody falling for that. I'm sorry, I won't fall for that. My nephew won't fall for that. And he's 5 years old. Get out of here with that. I can't even juke him out like that. Are you crazy? Get out of here. That's preschool ball. You know what I'm saying? You're better than that. You know what I'm saying? They called you Mr. Irrelevant. Now you're wearing it. You're Mr. Irrelevant. Sorry.
I agree.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
They hyped him up good.
Yes, they did.
Bruce, you hyped him up.
Yes, they did. Too much.
Y'all was rooting, man.
To a T, you know, it's our fault too, because we let it go on.
We did.
It's our fault too. We let it go on.
Man, he catch the ball in traffic sometimes, but he can get lit up.
Why was he always a man? Why was he the last pick in the draft?
Yeah, because he can't get no separation.
It was the reason.
He's showing us.
You know, it was the reason why he was there. So, you know, moving on, we're going to talk about some division updates here. When we get back on, we're about to pay some bills, ladies and gentlemen. But when we get back, we're going to talk about some updates within the division. We're going to talk a little bit about Dak Prescott. We're going to talk about Mr. Miles. That's the son of our show. Hi.
You are listening to Studio Runners Radio at StudioRunners.com.
But also, well, I was wondering why they have one person really on Stadium, here we are. Just as we were yesterday at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, we are 3 minutes away from kicking off. And here in the stadium, they have sold out the Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. No, they are 7-0 in playoff games here, Art. In fact, you've got to go way back 44 years ago to when the Redskins last lost a home playoff game in this stadium. Lucky getting up is absolutely incredible. That's the record, and it has a record that every good is this
So you take the easy more when you're almost hit it.
See the eyes of the winner. They really shit. Straight chip and break for him. Money to get on the breaks from nothing. Child of the age. World going crazy. Yeah. And I'm on this 7 late. Yeah. And I have niggas hate me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Redskins Nature Show here with the two hosts, Sun and Roe, broadcasting live from the nation's capital. We about to dive right back into this division updates. Now, before we left, we said we're going to come back and talk about Dak Prescott. Do you know that Dak Prescott has signed his free agent tender, which will bring him $31.4 million for 1 year? Now, I'm looking at this like, wow. You know, this guy has an opportunity to make all this money, and next year, if he plays well and possibly gets his team near the Super Bowl, we know what type of money he's going to be asking for. He might be asking for a check like the good old boy Patrick Mahomes boy just got, you know. And to me, I'm not a Dallas fan. I'm a fan of football first. I believe If he does that, he should get the money. What you think?
If he takes if you take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl, yeah, he should get the money. Honestly, let's be clear about
what about if they get to the conference championship?
no.
You don't think he deserves the money
No.
then? Why?
Now, let me say this. In order to win a Super Bowl now, you have to be really good. You know what I'm saying? And I think if Dak gets to this conference championship, depending on how they get there, then if he doesn't get the mid, then you can't really pay him. Because that, to me, you can get there with the weapons that Dallas has. They can get there with anybody at quarterback.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that I would pay him the type of money that he's actually looking for. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I wouldn't pay him, but now
Well, I would say, the same thing. A quarterback of his magnitude, you have to take in confidence and control that he's going to do exactly what he needs to do, especially if he has, the team support behind him. Now, we all know if you have it and if you don't. We've seen it with our good friend who used to play here, RG3. Like, I believe RG3 had a better supporting cast here, far as not just the offense, but everybody whole put them together. Did in the second game would have been the same attitude the next year, but with a lot more jail than that. I didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm getting from with Dak Prescott. Yeah, they load him up with some weapon, but let's be honest. Is that line still gonna let him get hit as much as they be letting him get hit? Are they still gonna, rely on Elliott and break him up before it's time? Because it will happen. It has happened to running backs. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that too. When we talk about
he does take a lot of courage.
Takes a lot of blows.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure Dak Prescott is accurate enough down the field in order to win in the NFL. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. And until I see his accuracy, his long ball accuracy get better, I wouldn't pay him. I'm just being honest. I feel, and I'm gonna be honest about it too. I feel like Dallas probably would be better with a different quarterback. If I was Dallas, I would think about making it. Well, I guess the Packers have their situation with Love, but I would think about packaging up a deal maybe for Van Der Esch, and Van Der Esch and maybe someone else, Wouzier or something for Aaron Rodgers. Because imagine Aaron Rodgers with that team. But you got Mike McCarthy there too. You got Mike McCarthy there, so they didn't work. So
they didn't work. But also, you got to think about that line too. He'll be going into a worse situation. I think he has a better chance in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers stay healthy with that line.
No, Dallas line. What you think? Dallas line is bad.
I think it's worse
than Green Bay.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I'll go through some stats.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll check some stats real quick and see what Cowboys defense ranked last year. Let's see what Green Bay defense ranked last year, and that'll tell defense. The offense. You know what I'm saying? What they ranked.
Dallas defense was high. Offense was number top 5. I think it was number 2 in the league. Dallas offense.
Let's see.
Dallas offense was high last year. That came 5,000 yards, I think.
Okay, here we go. Coming up right on NFL status and team stats. Okay, Dallas was 8-8 last year. Green Bay was 13-3.
Yeah.
So different animals right there. So let's see. I want to see the defense. See how they help them out. So here's the problem I think I'm seeing. I think Dallas was ranked number one, but the problem with that is y'all were 8-8. So it means togetherness in your locker room, on your field. You know, when it came to actually pushing to win games that you needed to win, y'all were losing those games. And people might say there was a count, you know, was Elliott suspended at a point last year?
Huh?
Was Elliott suspended at a point last
Yeah,
year?
yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? So,
No, he wasn't suspended. I think he was holding out. It was a holdout. Remember, he held out.
All right. Well,
so he came in training. You remember he came back the last week of training camp or the first, right before the game or something. He didn't have a training camp last year.
Okay. Well.
But he still had like 1,300 yards.
Even with that, you know, Green Bay, like I said, Green Bay was 13-3. You know, you don't get no more clean cut than that. You don't really have to speak about, you know, so they might have been number one, but, you know, Aaron Rodgers, to me, he's good where he's at. I wouldn't come to Dallas. I wouldn't want that trade, you know, for me personally. You know, I don't think that trade would benefit
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that I think they would be better with a quarterback who throws the ball better down the field. That's my thing with Dak. Yeah, he can run a little bit. Yeah, he's big, and maybe you get something out of that at some point. But I think the reason that they get beat in the playoffs is because effectively you don't have to worry about Dak beating you down the field. He might hit a bomb. He might hit somebody deep. But that intermediate stuff that busts down the defense, he's not going to get that. And you can really commit a lot of people to the line because he don't have it's just his accuracy is questionable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he doesn't hit more than he misses. And so I wouldn't pay him. I just think he can be replaced. Yeah. And there's no knock on that. That's just my assumption. But we don't know that. It could have been it could have been Jason Garrett too. Yeah, it could have been Jason Garrett.
It could have been, but we'll see that.
Or Jason Garrett. It could get worse under McCarthy. I mean, is that who they had? They got McCarthy. So that's going to be interesting to watch how that dynamic breaks down. Every team in the NFC East except for the Eagles has a new coach. I think that's something that needs to be noted too.
It was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's what I'm saying.
But
who knows? That can get worse. They can't get much better than what he was last year.
Even with that, they ended up in 24th place last year. Green Bay was 7th.
Right. I agree.
So
that's what I mean by Aaron Rodgers being there. He would play better in bigger moments. I just think in big moments, that just didn't show up. And I think it's been several times in several years you got that out of Dak. They went 13-3 their first year under Dak. And even though he was a rookie, so I mean you can't expect whatever. In that game against Green Bay, the first half they got stomped.
It was all they placed there, but their offense was ranked number 4 and Green Bay was ranked number 9.
Yeah.
So y'all have a way higher power offense due to Elliott, which I say is not going to take them blunders and bruises all of these years. At some point, he's going to stop. You can't give him 30 yards to carry every game. You can't do it.
30 carries a game.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? 30 carries a game. You cannot give him that because if you do, you're going to wear him down, and eventually he will be hurt and he won't be playing on your field, nobody's field. If he gets that many carries at abundance each year, in and out, you can't do that. not no running back. Their lives are already short this league. You cannot do that to a running back. So that take that money this year, my brother. Play your heels off and try to get your contract. Like again, I said, y'all know what I'm repping. It's burgundy and gold blood here, but this is a sports radio talk show. But the Redskins do head it. Understand that. Let's get down to business. We're going next to the Eagles. I want to talk about Mr. Miles, the running back. What do you think Miles is going to do?
Did the Eagles make any coaching staff changes? You want to look that up, or you want me to get that?
I can look at it.
Yeah.
But what do you think in the meantime? What do you think, Mr. Miles? Did they pick
Miles Sanders?
Yes, sir.
Miles Sanders was good with them last year. Miles Sanders played. He was actually one of the reasons they got to the playoffs. I believe that I think Philly beat us in the second game, didn't they? They swept us last year, if I'm not mistaken. But they should have lost that both games. Actually, we was up 17-0 at halftime in the first game, and then in the second game, I believe Haskins had a chance to win.
We got cheated.
Or you know,
we also got cheated.
Yeah,
on that bomb downfield.
Yeah. So, I think Philly is overrated. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
I think Philly. I don't believe in Wentz as much as everybody else, and I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't believe that he can win big games. I'm not sure about that yet. And I don't believe he looks good against good defenses either. I don't really see him as a threat who just beats up on good defenses. Like some teams, some quarterbacks are just good against everybody. I don't really see that with him. I think he has his picks against teams to look good against. I think he looks better against some of the weaker defense as anybody, but I don't know if I've ever seen him really look good against good defense. So, I think.
Well, what about speaking about someone looking good? If Marquise Goodwin is actually helping, he's good.
Oh, Marquise Goodwin, yeah.
So that was an acquisition that they picked up. One of the guys that they got added to the team. So what do you think about him?
Him with Deshaun Jackson is dangerous, but I'm not sure that they can go over the middle the way. I mean, you do have Zach Ertz over the middle for you with Philly, but I don't know what you do in the middle of the field enough with them. I'm gonna put two safety. I'm gonna play cover two and put two safeties over the top, or cover three with a safety in the middle and let the guy go underneath, and let a linebacker run underneath Ertz. And what do? Are you going to run? Which one are you running over the middle, Jackson or Miles? What's his name?
Miles
Sanders. Either Miles Sanders or Jackson. Who do you run over the middle? So
the Eagles, I'll give Doug Peterson this. He's one of the guys who's real innovative with his play calling. The only thing you can really expect from him is to go for it on fourth down. Like when I watch games, sometimes I think they're doing something, and I'm like, oh no, they ain't doing that. But I call a run out. The runs for him are predictable. I know they pretty much gonna run, but like their passing formation, is kind of giving me the chills sometimes, especially with like the wide receivers they had. We know what Deshaun can do. We had Deshaun. He's an absolute monster. Is his speed and quickness still there? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure about it because last year we kind of put the
he missed a lot of games in injury.
Yeah,
and that's been historic for his whole career. So until he can play a substantial amount of games, I think him being a threat or any sort of a mention is just no point because he doesn't play enough. I mean, it is no disrespect to him.
Yeah,
it's just to be honest, you'll be a fool to put some type of weight on Deshaun Jackson right now because he doesn't play most of the season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that was even in Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay, with him over there, they were monsters when he played.
Same with us. We were monsters when he played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was hurt here a lot.
He was hurt here a lot as well.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe he missed almost 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time. So
it's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. So how do you consider that? You'd be a fool.
Well, hey, Eagles. I ask y'all this question. Eagles fools go on that. Are they going to be able
I think they're overrated. I'm gonna tell you,
They might be overrated, but I ain't gonna be fooled to go with this shit. All that time, remember that year when they got all them guys?
what did they add on
picked up,
defense? Who did they add on defense? Didn't they add Gerald McCoy?
I don't think so. I think Gerald was somewhere else. I checked on it the other day. I think Gerald was somewhere else. I cannot remember where he went exactly.
We're gonna do a check on this and find out what additions the Eagles have made. What additions the Eagles have made, because
right now, in a lot of polls, they say Eagles are 10 feet. You know.
Yeah, but no team. First, we gotta understand no team.
All right, so look, say Carson Wentz doesn't work out. We already know who's backing up Carson Wentz.
Oh,
Jalen Hurts.
That's who they got.
Yeah, they got Jalen Hurts. Yeah, they picked him up. So if Carson Wentz doesn't work out, they put Jalen Hurts in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you gonna do then?
Where's Nick Foles? Where did he go?
Nick Foles.
I'm surprised the Eagles didn't get him back. They should.
No, they didn't. Where did Nick Foles go?
Nick Foles should have been an Eagle.
I mean, I believe so too, but you know, a lot of things take place, and you know, guys have to move on, so they pick up other guys. I mean, I know how the story goes. When it comes down to that, having to move on from players. So, they got Sean Bradley, who's a middle linebacker. I'm assuming that they just picked up this season. Outside linebacker, Davion Taylor. Picked up Kayvon Wallace, who's a safety, and another slack corner, Braylon Arnold. And another middle linebacker, Dante Oaks. That's what they picked up on defense. Those are the rookies. Now they have some undrafted rookies here, like maybe not undrafted, but some more rookies are Raekwon Williams, another D tackle, but he's fourth string on this.
All right, I'm looking to try to see if I can find the additions. I did see a few. They added Nicole Roby Coleman, the guy who hit the guy Rams, who hit the guy from the Saints on the no call in the NFC Championship game. You remember that? Mm-hmm. They got him. They added him. That guy's pretty good, though. He's a good cover guy. I'm not gonna lie. On defense, I did not see Gerald McCoy, y'all. However,
yeah, he's not with me.
I did not see Gerald McCoy.
He's not with me.
That would have been huge if they could have added Gerald.
Get him plugged up here.
So with the Eagles, they're going to score around 17 points a game with under Wentz, the Wentz attack. Jim Schwartz is their defensive coordinator though, and he is a good defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. All day.
Schwartz he should have got considered for another head coaching job. I mean, I don't know. He's a better defensive coordinator than head coach.
Okay.
To be honest. So they added a defensive tackle, Hassan Ridgeway. They added a linebacker, Jatavius Brown. They added Will Parks.
And Jatavius Brown, the middle linebacker?
I think so.
Or outside backer?
I think he's a middle linebacker. They re-signed Nate Sudfeld. Funny.
We should never know.
Yeah.
Beyond
so it says Ridgeway acquired this Ridgeway guy. Acquired from the Indianapolis coach in a trading ankle injury in October, finishing with 4 tackles for a loss, 4 quarterback hits in 7 games. Fletcher Cox and Malik Jackson are headliners, but Ridgeway 25 will be a part of the equation.
Okay.
Who knows if he can even play the whole year.
All right. All right. So moving on. I want to talk a little bit about these Giants, the G-men. Everybody seems to think, right, that the Eagles are the team to beat, but you seem to think that the Giants are going to be about to flip this year, and they are going to be the team to watch in the NFC.
I think the Giants are definitely a team to watch in the NFC East, first and foremost, because you don't really know who their coach is or really don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
I mean, well, we know their coordinator. We know him well.
Who's their coordinator?
Jason Garrett.
Oh, Jason Garrett is their coordinator. Right, but you still don't know what Jason Garrett is. We still don't know how that team is going to look.
Who's their running back?
Jason Garrett is going to be highly motivated.
Their running back
is
Saquon. Pound for pound, the best running back in the league right now. Hands down. I don't care who has to say what. Yeah. I'm not a Giant fan either. Yeah. I'm a diehard Burgundy and Gold. Please hear me. That's my nature.
They had the best.
But they had the best pound for pound running back in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? So with that, he's better than Elliott. You know what I'm saying? He's he ain't better. Shut your mouth. He is.
Yeah,
he is. Elliott can't do what he can do. He's way stronger, way more powerful, and his cuts way more harder, and they turn into touchdowns more often than that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why they scared. They have the best. To me, the best player in the NFC East.
That's what I'm saying. So with that,
he's
going to utilize Saquon. I don't think he's going to run him as much as he ran Elliott. I think he's going to open up the playbook a little bit more because he's going to believe in Daniel Jones. Now, with Daniel Jones, people don't know. I believe in Daniel Jones. I wanted Daniel Jones over Haskins until I looked at some film and realized I wanted arm over presence. You know what I'm saying? Because you can teach presence to a guy like Haskins. As you've seen, notably through his career, he progressed on, just as he did last season. During the season, you've seen him progress toward the end before he got hurt. Anywho, as we move on, like you say, he's a threat. He thinks that the G-men and Jason Garrett will be a threat because he doesn't really know what they're going to bring. And I believe that there will be a powerhouse, but I don't think they're the team to watch this year. I believe the team to watch, and I'm not just saying this because I'm Burgundy and Gold, it's us. Because one thing we know is if Haskins get a grasp of something, and he actually knows it, and they actually let him do what he knows, we see what he can produce off college numbers. And this is still a young kid. Now, remember this. He didn't play out a full college career.
Do you know that the Giants had Freddie Kitchens as their tight ends coach? Is their tight ends coach?
Now, wasn't Freddie Kitchens left with the Browns after our quarterback's coach, left there, and you saw what happened. So that doesn't scare me at all. I'm really not scared of that. And hold on, let's be honest. They did a little battle. They had a duo last year, did they not? Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins. Yeah. And it was getting ugly out there until Haskins got hurt. Yeah. If Haskins would have stayed in that game, we would have won that game.
I believe so.
We were going up and down that field on them with no problem.
I believe so.
That was the best game of Haskins' career today. You know what I'm saying? Haskins really showed up.
Carolina game's pretty good too.
It was good, but I don't think it was as good as that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as good as that. Because that's when you see Haskins come alive.
Yeah.
Even though we lost that game and he got hurt, you see Haskins come alive that game.
Yeah.
And you saw what he really is capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? And to one of our biggest nemesis, aside the Cowboys, the Giants. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, but Haskins, I think it's just something to be said for Haskins this year. So, we ain't there yet. I guess we'll get there.
But yeah, okay. Now, due to some rules not all the way being put out there, it hasn't been any changes that we've seen to the COVID-19 updates, the rules, etc., except for what you have seen online and what you have heard. So we're not going to even jump into that segment because they don't have legitimately legitimate and safe process for these people. We're actually going to have a season this year, so that's understandable. So that segment of our show will not be in. So with that being said, we're about to pay some bills, go to commercial. This is the Redskins Nature Show, broadcasting live from your nation's capital with Sun and Road. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Football knowledgeable, faithful, most caring folks in the world. The Redskins faithful. Maybe kind of salary it took to get a Doug Williams, but also, well, I was wondering why the coaches they have one coach who really went on Welcome to John F. Kennedy Stadium, where again we are live. Just as we were yesterday at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, we are 3 minutes away from kicking off. And here in this stadium, they have sold out the Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. No, they are 7-0 in playoff games here. In fact, you got to go way back 44 years ago to when the Redskins lost a home playoff game in this city. Sensational. The blocking he's getting up front is absolutely incredible. That's the record, and it holds record with Jimmy Smith in this situation. So,
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Redskins Nature Show, broadcasting live from your nation's capital. Sun and Row as your two hosts right here. Now we're going to dive into the name change and some feeling from the fans. I know me being a diehard fan, I know I do not like it. I think that one, knowing that this is history of our nation's capital. Two, knowing that it's Native Americans and the team is named after Native American warriors. We go out there and fight. We fight, we die with this team. When they lose, it messes our whole day up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things ain't right. People are mad. Our city, when the Redskins lose, our city lose. So with them dying off our name, it's like killing off our city. Dying a little bit, you know what I'm saying, from the inside. So my feeling with it, I don't want the name change. I want people to know that the name is not racist. I want people to know what this name really stands for. Redskins means a warrior. A red man means a warrior. Red skinned may be a total different thing. It's not red skins, people. Let's understand that. Let's be sensitive to the Native Americans. Let's not take over the things that they hold value to, the things that mean something to their heritage. Let's be sensitive, not insensitive. And we are doing this show, and it's called Redskins Nature because this is the nature of the Redskins. And we're speaking to the Redskins nature of people, the real nature of the Redskins. This is how it is. This is how we see it. And it's not only how we see it, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So when we hold the truth and when we speak about these things, it's not just because we're speaking off the top of our head. No, we actually took the time to go sit down and research. It takes weeks for us to do a show. It don't take a day or two. It takes weeks for us to do a show because we did. These topics that we have here, these topics have been brought up in other directions and other facets, but haven't been brought in the right manner, haven't been talked about on this level, and we're here to do that. So me being a fan, no, I do not want it. No, it does not need to happen for them to line their pockets for us to bring the team back here. They did the same thing to my Washington Bullets. I really don't call them Wizards too much because that's not how I see them. I see them as Washington Bullets. When I play on 2K, I play in Bullets jersey. I never play in Wizards jersey. Straight up. And they did all of that saying that, they brought it about. It was all about money because they were going to put the team downtown anyway, regardless, but they wanted them to change their name first. They were going to do what they did out of Largo Town Center regardless. For those who don't know about Largo Town Center consists of a Chick-fil-A, a Golden Corral, a movie house, apartments, and some other eateries over there. I don't even know. I don't even know if Chuck E. Cheese is still over there or whatever. And just some shoppers and all that stuff along the way off of 202. But I'm like, at the end of the day, our team should have never left Washington, D.C. Our team should have stayed here. So the fact that y'all moved us away from Washington, D.C. was one part of killing our fan base. Because there was a lot of people that took heart to that. They didn't like that. They didn't want to be put out on the outskirts of D.C. They wanted the team to stay in D.C. Now they have brought the Nationals here, and they complained about traffic, but the Nationals are here. And on top of that, the Nationals being here, they have DC United over at Audi Field. Now, Audi Field, for you who haven't been there, I've seen it. I didn't actually go on the field, but if you walk past it and you walk on a certain angle, you can actually see the field. It's a beautiful field. I believe it's a beautiful stadium. And I'm a Washingtonian, so I'm all for sports here and everything. But we all know in the nation's capital who is the lead sports team around here, and it's the Redskins. So let's not think about that. And like I say, I ain't for it. What's your thoughts?
I feel like the name change, first off, is I feel like the Redskin fans really need to speak up and fight. Because we have collectively as a fan base gone in and expected our team to have heart when it comes to games and in competition. Well, as fans, being as though we being approached in a some type of manner, we should have the heart that we expect our team to have.
Yeah.
And we should stand up and fight the same way we would expect our team to stand up and fight if somebody was to come in our house in competition.
Yeah.
So I think that as fans, we need to stand up and fight. There's a march going on that I heard about on March 1st.
Okay.
No, sorry, August 1st. On August 1st, 2020. There's a march going on from RFK to FedEx Field. I think that all Redskins fans should go and attend that. It's a rally and a march. I think all Redskins fans, especially the ones who are opposed to the name, should really go and attend that march and march in respect to their team. I think you can have cars. So even if can't walk and you're older, you can be in your car and somebody can escort you with the parade so you can voice your opinion.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Yeah, so I think,
the people, I want to say, just, as leaders of our community, and, we try our best to keep everybody safe. So we don't want nobody that's going to come there and be rowdy. The cause is to march people, to let them understand this is not what we want, okay? It's not to bring any harm to anyone or any group of people. We just want to protest peacefully, as we've done, being in Washington, D.C., we've had protests around here in the past few months. And in the beginning, a lot of them weren't too peaceful, but thanks to the leaders of our communities and people around our community came together and, got things calmed down, and we had a lot of peaceful protests around here. So that's what we're looking for. And also, we're looking for you guys to show out in groves with that burgundy goat coming. You got to have it on. Your face masks and all people. Let's recognize that too. Hey, this is still a pandemic. Please have your masks on, your gloves if you need them. For the people who are super seducing to like things with this, like people with diabetes, breathing problems, asthma, things of that nature. So be real sensitive to yourself, please, and to others.
absolutely, absolutely. So, I just think with the name change overall, the Redskin fan base need to step up and speak on it if it's something that needs to be said. I think it just needs to be said now. And I do believe, I mean, this is just my position. Nobody has to follow it, but I am not in support of the name change. So me personally, I won't be saying the new name. I won't be buying any of the merchandise. I won't be going to any of the games.
I stand in support of that as well.
I will support the players though. I will support the players. I'm gonna support the Chase Youngs. I'm gonna support the Jonathan Highlands. I'm gonna support the players, but I'm not going to support the new team and the new name, and I'm not going to patronize them financially, and give them money for changing the name when you stole it, and you stole it from Native people who wanted to be represented. I don't think that's right, so I'm not going to support you because, in my opinion, it's wrong to not allow them the freedom to represent themselves however it is that they decide that they want to represent themselves. I think that's a certain freedom that comes with that.
And this is supposed to be the land of the free, and when you do things like that, and I'm gonna just call it out, a lot of people won't say it, but we all know the Oneida tribe is behind this, and these are people who are in power and in business with guys with a lot of money. As you can see, they made Amazon and FedEx and Pepsi. Like these companies, I mean, we could talk a whole line about these companies that are just named you wouldn't like, but you're still dealing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you say, what group of people is it that really want this?
Right. Right.
I know this.
The Blackfeet tribe, when you look up, as I said earlier, when you look up the Blackfeet tribe, when you look up their traditional wear, most of their traditional wear you can see is correlated with the Redskins organization. And the Blackfeet tribe has come out publicly on numerous occasions, and they do it almost every day in certain groups and on certain chats, where they say that we are in support of the Redskins. When you talk about the Redskins, they're talking about us, and we. It's our person who created the logo from our tribe. So this is how you properly represent us. And they have that right.
Yeah,
they have that right.
They do, and they have the right to be heard as well. And One Wolf said it as I watched him today earlier. He said Mario Bowser, the council, and other members of the boards in Washington, D.C. do not want to hear them.
See,
they don't want to hear them. He said, let us be heard.
Exactly.
We want to talk. It's 90% of us. Let us
right.
be heard. And I said it again. Yes, Mario Bowser, the council, members on the board will not talk. They do not want to hear them. And why do they not want to hear them? Because they're in bed with these people. That's why. And I think it's wrong. And we're not going to stand for that. Like you said, we're not going to support them. We're not buying none of your items. I'm not showing to none of your games. If you give me free tickets, guess what? I will sell them. And I don't care if it's to the other fans.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll make it so sure it's sold to the other fans.
Yeah.
Do not send me tickets to come to that game if we are not the Redskins. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
That's just the way I feel.
They have the right to be.
They have the right.
They have rights to. And that's not fair for you to take their rights away.
It's not fair.
That's
also,
not fair. I'm not going to support that.
One Wolf spoke about him and his team putting together a march. I heard on the first preseason game at FedEx Field, and they will be there from 1 to 5. The game actually started at 4, so them guys will be protesting 3 hours before the game and an hour while the game is going on. It will be done. We'll leave and be on our way because we will be there too. We're going to stand beside you, my brother.
Right.
Like we told you earlier, we'll be right there. And, because it has to be heard.
Right.
Now, these tribes that you saw at, that popped up at Redskins games 2 years ago when they were doing this in Minnesota and places like that, and even at Kansas City, those weren't Blackfeet tribe members.
No.
They wouldn't show up to that. They stand side by side with the Redskins and their name and what it means to them and what it shows to the Native American history. They stand with them. We're not going to allow it. And as fans, we shouldn't. So fans, we want to know you guys' comments, chime in, give us your thoughts, and just really pour it on heavy. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for these fans that will not stand for it. And we even want to hear the opinion of you guys who think that it's right, because I guarantee you we can change your mind. Done with that segment, we're going to move on to a segment, and it's a big question, Mark. I believe it is. I believe the fans want to know, is Daniel Snyder okay with this name change? Do you think he wanted it? Is what I'll say. Do you guys think that Daniel Snyder really wanted his name change?
You asking me?
Fans?
Okay.
And I'm asking you as well.
I'll answer that. Okay, my opinion is a little probably different than what anybody else's opinion is, but I like to follow the money when formulating my opinion. So when you follow the money, if the way that I look at it and the things that I know about the logo is the Wetzel family brought a picture of 2 guns, and I'm pretty sure that the Blackfeet tribe are on that picture of 2 guns, which is the likeness of the Redskins logo. So in effectively copyright law, I'm pretty sure that the Native Americans own that. So when you change that logo, you effectively change the ownership of the logo. And I believe that in effect, when you think about it financially, Daniel Snyder would want the logo changed because then it goes to him. If that makes any sense, he can create whatever logo he wants now. He's free of having whatever liability that they would have over that logo. He's free of that. So, in effect, I do believe that Daniel Snyder did want it changed, even if he said publicly, I will never change it. I personally believe that so that he won't be liable for changing the contract. But that's my personal thought. And when you think about the money, I just think he wanted to change. He lied to all of us. I mean, as he always does, and all of that. I think it was all a facade. The whole I'm never changing it. I think it was a facade.
I have different feelings about it. Now the Zoom conference or live via social media that I watched with One Wolf and the other guy, that was a few days ago. Now, it was said that Dave Snyder would come out and give the name change on Tuesday. Now here we have it's Thursday. Still no name change. Now, I believe Dave Snyder seen this video and said to himself, okay, I love this team. I have to dig deeper. Actually, it's an article about him saying that I read earlier, and I quote, I cannot remember the exact which reporter wrote this, but I quote the reporter who wrote this. He says, Dave Snyder said, I will deeply look into this situation before I change the name. I'm going to dig deeper into the situation before I change this name. So I believe with him seeing a video like that, it played on his conscience. Like, am I really going to drink the Kool-Aid that they're serving, or am I going to make my own? That's what I believe. Because if he really was chasing that money, hey, out the door, ain't no thought about it, ain't no thought process. I said Tuesday. I already retired the name. You did what I'm saying? Just that simple. A man of business like Dave Snyder, we all know that he don't mind. When it's time for that dollar, it's real snappy, it's real fast. So I don't think he's chasing the dollar. I think he's chasing saving the legacy and actually being a man behind his word, which much of his word doesn't mean anything. So I think he's really trying to make up for that at this point. That's what I honestly think. I think he really doesn't want the name change.
You might be right. I'm saying I'm looking at it from financial terms. It benefits him when the name changes. Benefits him more than anybody else because now he can assume whatever liability that he have to assume to them for the likeness. He doesn't have to take that.
Yeah,
but so that's all I'm saying.
Guess what? On the other hand, he will suffer immensely because the new fan base that he thinks he's going to have, he's not going to have it. So he's thinking about that. So on money terms, yeah, he is thinking money. Hey, I got to rectify this situation.
He might be right. Money. If he is more power to him. But
we sometimes we don't give Dave Snyder the credit that he's due because the winning years that we've had here was due to him giving faith in somebody under his tutelage. We might not have a lot of it going here. We only had like four winning seasons with him, or 5.
Who with Dave Snyder? We've had 3.
More than that. We went to the playoffs.
We went to the playoffs. Under Gibbs twice. And then we went to under Shanahan once. Oh yeah, and then
Shanahan once, another group once.
Yeah, 4
times.
Yeah.
He gave faith to somebody that they would, take his team to where he wanted them to be. Now, it's not a mediocrity into that, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, let's be honest. We've had a history of failure around here, but when things were good around here, they were good. We had a point from 1946 to 1970. What?
Yeah.
When we went to the postseason.
They were 7-0.
One time. Okay?
1946
to 1971. This is before we got back in the Rams and things. You know what I'm saying? This is before the team actually got.
When we got back into the Super Bowl 72.
You know what I'm saying?
You know we got George out.
That's right. And hey, who's to say? We win that one. In my mind, watching both of them games, watching both the Super Bowls that we lost, I think we could have won both of them Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? But
the Raiders was cheating. They was, if you look at that game, they got away with a lot of craziness.
I want to leave that one off the table, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a Vegas game.
I'm gonna leave that subject off the table. I'm not gonna dive into that matter, but
I will.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we're done with that, fans, we were talking and we really wanted to know about Return of the Arcade. What that would mean for this city, the revenue, who it will help out, and how it would generate more jobs, more stabilization for the citizens, especially of the African American community. You know what I'm saying? Who've been pushed out due to gentrification of other neighborhoods, like Social Quarters, Berry Farms, 12th and Robinson, 58th Street. You know, these are a lot. These are a lot of good. I mean, big number of projects that were shut down, and a lot of these families didn't have nowhere to go. Some of these people ended up on the street because the thing is, not only were these families living there, some people were living with these families and had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're on the street, and the homelessness has rise to a sad and utter disrespect to our citizens, if you ask me, because we are the nation's capital. The homeless rate should not be as high as it is here. We have systems in place. We have money in place, but the policies are not in place. You know, but back to returning to our care, what it would do for the revenue of our city, for the citizens of our city, and for the fan base. I think it will return back to glory days if we will return to RFK.
All right. So the question is, if we were to return to RFK, right?
Return to RFK.
Okay. Now the elements of returning to RFK is one. I don't think Bowser wants, and I think that's where the Redskins fans have a responsibility to vote her out because she's not really doing what's in the best interest of the team based on her own personal feelings, and she's not even a Redskins fan. Yeah. So I think Redskins fans have to band together in some degree and take care of her, you know, and get her out of office by voting her out. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, she doesn't really care what happens to the organization. As long as they do what she wants them to do, effectively. I mean, and so I think the Redskins coming back to DC. I mean, look at the track record. They won four championships. Or three, whatever it was. I could be wrong. They won three, and then they won five. The record says that they're 11-1 in RFK in the playoffs. Yeah. 11-1. So I think the look at
they didn't lose a game at RFK for 7 straight playoff games.
Right. And so when you look at it too, on this end of it too, the Capitals play here, and what happened? Championship. The Nationals play here. Wow. And what happened? Championship.
DC United is on the heels of the championship.
DC United already won the championship.
They've already won them.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is they're back on the heels about to win championship.
So DC is a place of champions.
And let's be honest.
For whatever reason.
Let's be honest. Had the what was it? The semi-pro team?
Yeah.
DC Defenders.
Oh, not to mention the Mystics. We didn't even mention the
Mystics. My goodness. We always forget about them. Sorry, ladies. We have to give y'all so much credit. We was talking about this the other day. You guys are bad. Yeah. Y'all are bad like the 78, the 77 and the 78 Wizards. Yeah. They went the year before, lost, and then I said Wizards, I mean, but sorry, y'all. I meant to disrespect y'all like that ever. But they did the same thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They worked hard, got right back in it, and won.
Yeah, so not to mention the Mystics. I mean, this is the championship.
This championship grounds right here. Y'all want to make us change the name to do it. This will forever be the name. Y'all can't do it no other way. It's only right to do it that way. Because you know when you do it that way, that means the Redskins got 4. Yeah. We got 4. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing nobody can say to us. Yeah. Everybody saying, oh, we got this, we got that. We got 4 rings.
Not Dane Schneider. The Washington Red, everybody involved, the mayor, the owners of the team, everybody involved in a leadership sort of position or administrative position with it. Everybody involved must take responsibility and get it done. That should be the main goal. Get it done, worry about the nuances later. Worry about the name and all the other stuff. Worry about it later. You know, just get it done. Get it done. Get it however you got to do it. Get them back to the city and worry about the other stuff later. I think that's my position on it. If they take that approach, it's going to come out right in the end of it. And everybody will be happy in the end. If Mario Bowser, if your goal is to get the Redskins back, that's the first thing we need to ask her. What is her goal? Is it to get the Redskins back to DC? Do you want the Redskins in DC? That's the first thing. I don't want to hear.
I don't want to hear the name change.
I don't want to. Do you? If it was any way to get them back, do you really want them here? That's the first question that needs to be asked. Then once you get that question figured out, then you can move on to the next step. But until you figure that out with Bowser, you really gonna still continue to have these issues. You know.
I agree. Yeah, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of had that high quality. Oh, look, shout out to Fiji. Look, we looking for sponsors. Fiji, we would love for y'all to sponsor us. So shout out to Fiji. Yeah. Anywho, my thoughts on returning to RFK. I think just like they've done Soldier Field, they've done the Eagles Field. These places were historic places where historic memories were made. When you have historic places like this, there's no more space at Howard Hospital to be Griffin Stadium anymore. It's Howard Hospital. It's no longer there anymore. That land is still there. The Redskins own that.
No, the Army Corps engineer.
Well, the Army Corps engineer. I'm saying they own that.
Oh, I know what you mean.
The Redskins own the stadium. You get what I'm saying? They own the stadium.
No, DC owns the stadium, but I know what you mean. They own the land. That's their land that they.
It's DC land, but that right there, you can't do nothing about that.
Right,
it's tied to the Redskins.
Right.
It's tied to the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? So with that being tied to the Redskins, it's only right for the Redskins to come back here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about, well, what are you going to do about the parking? If I'm not mistaken, the parking is still there.
Look at all that area around there.
Even though they put sports complex, so what? Hey, let people play there. That's a thriving community now. It's a lot more people in that community now. There's a lot of high rises going up. I mean, they're condominiums and stuff, but majority of them. But it's more people in that area, more families, more working class people. Put a park there, have a tennis court. Hey, that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? Generates more people in your city, and when you have more people, you have more population. More population generates more money.
I think it should be an indoor stadium. I'm gonna be honest. Indoor, outdoor, retractable roof. That's what I believe. It should be.
But if you do that, you have to tear down that stadium.
Yeah, I think it should be torn down, and I think it should be a brand new stadium built on that land. That's my opinion. I think you tear that down, and it should be a brand new stadium on that land.
Okay, now a couple of years ago, they had some drawings about how that land would look. Now, the parking lot off to the, I believe, the east side of the stadium, which is headed to southeast. You know what I'm saying? On the Anacostia side, that side would have had a beach layout. You know what I'm saying? And they would have put all the parking on this side. So this side is a beach layout. All the parking is on this side and right here. You're still parking here. You know what I'm saying? And the way they built it, it was kind of in a 3D. It was still open stadium, but it was like, it was more modern, but still had the outcase field. They still put the stadiums in, the seats in the stadium the way that they were at RFK, so everyone could see. You know, at RFK was not a bad seat.
No,
and guess what?
It wasn't.
It was nothing better than going to see the Redskins play on Sunday evening. The town was quiet.
Yeah.
Sunday evening, you know where everybody at the school.
Yeah.
But I think returning will be three things: revenue, rebuilding, and reassurance. Revenue, rebuilding, and reassurance. I say revenue because you already know once that stadium comes, you know what I'm saying, a lot more money than FedEx, believe it or not. People might say, oh, I don't know. Yes, it would, because back here at the Mecca, where it all began, you know, in Washington, D.C., where they belong, that's their name. Say rebuilding, because you're going to not only be rebuilding the stadium, you'll be rebuilding your fans.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You're already rebuilding your team, you're rebuilding your building, you have to rebuild your relationship with the fans. You have to know that you care. You have to know that you're going to do what you're going to say you're going to do. They all have to know that you're going to do your best to pick talent and leave things alone that need to be left alone like your coaches that need to go out there and coach a team that should have a GM.
That's the thing.
That should have a GM.
And that's the thing I want to talk about too.
So and on reassurance.
Can we get on that for a second?
All right, on reassurance, we will. On reassurance, you have to reassure them that something like this will never ever be a distraction again in our fan base, in our legacy, in our history. This history was made on the heels of two dogs, a Blackfeet Indian, the Blackfeet tribe from Montana, okay? On the Buffalo Soldier, on the Buffalo nickel itself. That's where that emblem is from. That's what that guy is. And if y'all notice, it's burgundy and gold. It's burgundy and gold for a reason. On our next coming shows, we will have pictures of them in their powwow garment, fully dressed. Y'all will see, the beautiful colors of that burgundy and gold that shine through, even blues, yellows, reds, and they always have burgundy and gold with them. Understand that, people. You know what I'm saying? That's what that was. But let's go ahead and jump on the subject of what was that you were talking about? You wanted to jump
on the general manager.
The general manager.
The general manager. And this is the thing. I have a couple questions about the draft. When you ended up with Chase Young, why didn't you draft J.K. Dobbins when you had an opportunity to get him? I'm just sorry. To me, I mean, that's one question I have. I got a couple questions. With Ron Rivera, if you're going through all this stuff, Daniel Snyder released a statement, of course, that said that him and Ron Rivera would be going over name changes within the next whatever amount of days. Now, first and foremost, Ron Rivera is coming to a new organization. He's installing a whole new system. He has, the players virtually knew everything. I don't want my head coach sniffling around names with the owner. I want him focusing on implementing a new system at a time where you have COVID-19, so you can't even have a full training camp.
Okay.
So the fact that he's sniffling around names is the job of a general manager, or even better yet, the job of a team president. It's not even the job of a general manager, in my opinion. So that's why it's even more important for you to have a general manager. The fact that you don't have one is a problem.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back, people. We have to pay some bills. We're overdue for some time. Here on the Redskins Nature Show, broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Sun and Roll, your host. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Folks in the world of Redskins faithful. Yesterday at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, we are 3 minutes away from kicking off. And here in this stadium, they have sold out for Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. They are 7-0 in playoff games here. You got to go back 44 years ago to when the Redskins lost a home playoff game in this city.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Redskins Nation Podcast live out of your nation's capital. It's your two hosts, Son and Rose. We about to dig back into some feelings that Bro has about not having a GM and what it could possibly do to hurting our franchise. You know. So with that being said, it's a lot to me. Before I let you speak, I think personally, this probably is the best position that Ron Rivera could have been put in because, as we went down the line, the only check off on our list or sort of a problem that we had was the new offensive coordinator. But we have a guy by the name of Kenza Pansy that I think will bring Haskins along to the point he needs to be. And that way he will be efficient in Scott Turner's offense. I believe Scott Turner can produce points. I believe that his running game is a valid threat in a duel with the pass. And we, like I said earlier, we have 4 running backs that, can handle the pressure that's supplied in a football game. So I honestly think this is maybe the best situation for Ron Rivera. I don't think that a GM would have did a better job other than J.K. Dobbins. Now, what I say about that, to get J.K. Dobbins now, I recently started a franchise mode on Madden, and I did the draft and everything. So, Chase Young and all those guys were still out there. So what I did, I got rid of Paul Richardson for I believe I got a third round pick for him. Got rid of him. I got rid of Kerrigan. I got a second round pick for Kerrigan. I don't remember where I sent Kerrigan. I also got rid of oh God, I got to get rid of a plethora of players. I got rid of Morgan Moses, and I replaced Morgan Moses with I forgot the tackle that I picked up, but the tackle that I picked up his overall was like 74. We all know Morgan Moses like a 78, 77. You know what I'm saying? So I said this guy I can work with and bring him up to speed. So we're getting rid of Morgan Moses, Josh Norman. I kept Josh Norman. People might say, why did I keep him? Well, for the scheme of Ron Rivera and the defense that was being played, it's a lot of zone. And that's what Josh Norman is good at. Now, he was not my number one corner because I had Kendall Fuller in favor in the row, and I put Jimmy Warner at the slot. Okay? So, in order for us to have got a player like Dobbins, we would have had to do some of the things that I did. I also gave up Reuben Foster, and the team that I gave him to, they were really in dire need of. So I ended up getting a third-round pick for the following year and a second-round pick for the previous. And I gave them Reuben Foster and a fourth-round pick of the same draft year. Okay? So I did some things to do that. I used the picks that I did to go to other teams so that I could get first-round picks from teams like the Detroit Lions. And I actually ended up getting Jeff Okudah at pick And the pick that the Lions had, because I had that pick, I traded to them Kerrigan, I believe. I think that's where Kerrigan went to, whatever. But I used that juice from Kerrigan going there to get me a first round pick from them. You know what I'm saying? Use that juice to give it him to get that first. It wasn't a second, it was the first round from them. But they really needed Kerrigan. Anywho, after I did that, I got Jeff Okuda. So they gave me Chase Young, Jeff Okuda, and I ended up getting J.K. Dobbins in the late third round, I believe. And how he fell that far down, I do not know. It was the same type of difference in the actual draft with J.K. Dobbins. He fell, I think, early third round, right? Something like that. But the Redskins, we didn't go after him. I think he fell mid third round. We didn't go after him. And I don't know for the life of me why, because I have him at, ooh, boy, he's a joy.
And my thing is, especially with the health of Darius Geis, the inconsistency in him being on the field,
yeah,
I think it was a no-brainer to get Dobbins. I mean, who cares about somebody being mad or upset or feelings or whatever? That was the best move for the team. Because Darius Geis has been so upset. But they got Gibson in place of Dobbins. But I mean, they are talking about. I mean, you better get it right, because if you don't, then I mean, Baltimore got Dobbins. So
yeah, and
I mean, so not to dwell on Dobbins, we don't have him. So we're not going to talk too much about somebody we don't have. But that's one of the moves where that has me questioning Ron Rivera. That's one of them. And secondly, I believe that the Redskins offense should be run in the manner with the Chiefs offense is run, because they use Patrick Mahomes' arm strength as a weapon. I believe Dwayne Haskins has similar arm strength. And so I believe that we should have went out and plucked somebody off the Chiefs coaching staff to lead our offense, because our offense, like their quarterback coach.
Well, we talked earlier, and we had a discussion about Eric Bieniemy. Would he come here, or would that be an insult? You seemed to thought it would be an insult.
It'll be an insult to bring him here as a coordinator when he's already a coordinator in Kansas City. Why would you leave Kansas City to come here and be a coordinator? Like, I don't see why you would do that. It's the same position. Now, if we was offering him a head coaching job, then I would understand him wanting to come here, because he's not a head coach in Kansas City. He's off the court. But why would you leave Kansas City to come here and do the same exact thing you're doing in Kansas City? That's why I said it would be disrespectful.
I don't think it would be disrespectful, because you're looking at a guy at Eric Bieniemy who runs the caliber offense that you ran here in Washington. And who better to do it but Eric Bieniemy? Because see, to me, this also sets up, if Ron does not do well, we have Eric Bieniemy to become the next head coach.
Then you have to make a promise to him.
And I'm pretty sure that would be the talks of what we're going to have. You know what I'm saying? If anybody is really looking at Ron Rivera to be a long-term stay here, I'm looking at Ron Rivera to be here as long as any other coach has been here.
I'm gonna be honest. But that's because of his own doing. Why I say that, it's because the moves that he's made thus far, I question them. I question not Jack Del Rio. I think that was an awesome hire. But Scott Turner,
that was an awesome.
Hold on, but but that's not going to be super effective. Your offense is
look at what he did with Baker Mayfield.
Right, but your offense and your defense, I think even he can do an outstanding job and you still have a poor offense. Is what I'm saying. He can still do good, and the offense will still be poor because of bad play calling or whatever else the case may be. I don't believe in Scott Turner based on what I've seen. That's where I think Rivera might be questioned at. So far, I don't like that hire based on what I've seen. Now, who knows what Scott Turner is actually going to do to get the opportunity. Right now, based on the film I watched last year, I am not confident in him at all. It looked bad to me. And anybody else can say what they want.
1,000, 2,000. 1,000 in running. Rushing. 1,000.
But I think that was
from your running back.
I think that was a lot. I think that was McCaffrey on his own a lot, because he was that.
But he knows how to put him in a position. You see what I'm saying? So if you have that in 4 running backs, that can do exactly just what McCaffrey was doing last season.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It gives Scott Turner kind of a boost,
But
so
he's
to
not
speak,
gonna
because
be,
he does not have that in North Carolina.
but it still is not going to be enough, is what I'm saying.
I
He's
think
still
it
gonna have a
is.
horrible defense.
I think. Well, I
You
think
can't do it all on your running game.
I think the first 5 weeks we could very well go 1-4 and still bounce back from that.
I don't know.
And not say make
I don't
playoffs.
know.
I said bounce back from that, not make
Who's our
playoffs.
backup quarterback?
Kyle Allen.
It didn't look good. It looked horrible, actually. I watched the film last night. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna be honest with the Redskins nature fans. It didn't look good, Redskins. It looked really bad. I mean, with this guy, Scott Turner, that offense didn't look good at all. And so, I mean, they couldn't do anything really well except for maybe run the ball. I mean, but even with that, how many yards did McCaffrey have? Rushing yards. If he had 1,000, was it like 1,500 or was it like 1,000? You know, that's another question. I wasn't familiar with the numbers. Maybe we can look that up.
I believe it was around the mark of 12
Let's
or
look
11.
that up.
I believe it was around the mark of 12 or 11. Not exactly accurate with that number because I didn't look that up. That was, you know what I'm saying, we're playing, don't discuss it. It was just something that came up.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming up in discussions right now.
Yeah.
So that I'm just not confident in Scott Turner at all. I'm really confident in Jack Del Rio. I think the defense. I think the defense is going to end up top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see it on offense with Turner. So let's see what Christian McCaffrey's numbers are. You know, I mean, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to look at him in different games. Another thing is that I didn't mention when I went through the goods and the bads with Scott Turner. He did not coach well against. I mean, San Francisco's defense. I mean, if you watch that game, I'm not sure how you could. I mean, I'm not sure how you could ever be confident in a Scott Turner offense after watching that San Francisco game. Anyone.
Okay, well,
he had 1,300 yards.
You speak about who's
15 rushing touchdowns and 116 receptions. That's what Christian McCaffrey had last year.
You speak about who could potentially be backing up
Haskins.
Now we're looking at Kyle Allen and as we know, Alex Smith is up there. He could potentially touch the field.
Yeah, I would mind seeing Alex Smith back up.
Yeah, he could potentially touch the field, you know. And then we have this guy by the name of Stephon Montez. Now I'm going to read a little summary. Stephon Montez. He's a quarterback that we drafted from Colorado. Okay, so I'm just going to read a little thing they have here about his career, and this is coming from Wikipedia, and I quote: "After redshirting his first year at Colorado in 2015, Montez played in 10 games, made 3 starts as a redshirt freshman in 2016. He spent most of the season as the backup to Sheffel Leofo, but started 3 games due to Leofo's injury. Overall, he completed 83 of 140 passes for 1,078 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Montez entered 2017 as a starting quarterback.
How tall is he?
In 12 starts, he's 6'5". In 12 starts, he completed 228 passes out of 377 pass attempts. for 2,975 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Montez returned as starter in 2018. He returned again for his senior in 2019. So, look at let's look at a little bit of his career. I mean, if that guy played that long in college, I mean, his numbers seem like they were half and half. It seems like he's a gunslinger to be a big guy. So it seems like we might have a Jared Goff on our hands, a guy who can get that ball down the field, but sometimes it's a little flaky with the ball, throwing interceptions. That's what that sounds like to me.
I don't believe in Kyle Allen. I'm gonna tell you that. If Haskins get hurt, we in trouble. I'm saying that now. If Haskins get hurt, we are in trouble. I don't believe in Kyle Allen at all. I thought he was better than what I saw on the film yesterday. It was pretty bad.
Okay, there's some more information about him. In his early years, Montez attended Dale Valley High School in El Paso, Texas. During his career, he passed for 6,512 passing yards with 86 touchdowns and 8,149 yards of total offense. He committed to the university. Wow.
If Hash go down, that's all I'm going to say.
You looking at him if Haskins go down, or are you looking at Kyle Allen or Alex Smith?
You're looking at, I hope Alex Smith. I would take a hurt Alex Smith over E1.
Well, let me tell you something about Alex Smith. I love this guy. I don't want to see nothing else bad pertaining to happen to an injury to him, especially due to the Redskins. He's already dealt with that before, and it's something that really could have been avoided. We all know about this incident. We all know about this incident. We're gonna be a little sensitive right now because let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? His
I'm not total. Let me say something about that. Not to toot my own horn, but when it happened, if everybody remember the Alex Smith injury, this is history, Redskin fans. When we explain it right now to y'all, it's history. All Redskin fans should know about this. On the Alex Smith injury, Alex Smith comes to the line, right? Calls the protection out, points at the guy on the left-hand side, tells his running back essentially in code, this guy is coming on a blitz. Block him. He keys him in as the Mike, the very guy who broke his leg. He keys him in, points him out, tells his running back that guy's coming, block him, right? So he says, hut. The running back goes out there, attempts to make the block. Now, mind you, the running back is a really small guy who was just pulled up out of the practice squad the week before because your running back who had 5 touchdowns and looked good in pass protection and in the receiving game mysteriously was cut.
He was benched
at first.
He was benched.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, mysteriously, this guy that's playing great is benched, right?
Yeah, we all know.
And so you put Marshall in. Marshall is too small to block that guy.
J.J. Watt.
He gets abused.
J.J. Watt.
I don't think it was Watt. It was a linebacker.
It was Watt. It was Watt.
I don't think
against the Texans. It was Watt.
It was against the Texans, but I don't think Watt is the one that hurt him. I think it was a linebacker, if I ain't mistaken, on the outside. I don't think it was Watt. It's too small to block him. He gets abused and gets sacked, and his leg is broken. Thanks to your coach. To me, anybody else can feel the way they want to feel. That's just my thought. Is Jay Gruden, to me, is responsible for that, and I know that's harsh. I know that's really harsh to say. Redskin fans and Jay Gruden fans and Alex Smith fans, and I know that's a strong allegation. I get it, but I watched the play, I watched the season, I watched the career. I personally think that was Jay Gruden's fault, in my opinion.
I mean, we all know it was on Jay Gruden from some things that came out, but we're not going to dive into that due to respect for his family. It has nothing to do.
No, I don't. I'm talking about the football.
No, but
play
I'm saying
portion. You're right.
We know why.
I'm talking about the football portion of it, though. When I said that, I meant the football portion of it.
No, I'm just saying we know why he was eventually let go and why he was benched. We know that now.
Right.
Then we didn't know that, but now that's been told. The story has been told. We know.
That's just one of the ugly moments. Nonetheless, Chris McCaffrey had an amazing season last year. I mean, 287 attempts, 1,300 yards, 4.8 yard average, and 15 touchdowns, 116 receptions. But my thing is this: it wasn't Christian McCaffrey. I mean, to me, Scott Turner, had a dink dunk offense, which played in the hands of Christian McCaffrey doing a lot of the things that he did personally.
Yeah.
It was you dinking and dunking all day, but you're not going to win with that. That's my whole thing. I want to win, and so am I sure that this offense is a winning offense? No, I don't believe it's a winning offense after watching it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So what's your on that play? I'm watching it now. On that play that Alex Smith got hurt, the safety came in for a blitz. I believe his last name was Jackson.
Yeah, that's
and Jackson wraps him from the top.
Yeah,
and Watt
it was
Watt.
I just knew it was the guy that came from the outside.
Watt gets one bottom on his leg,
Yeah,
and he's out that game.
But did you see before the play he called out the protection?
Yeah, he called it out.
He called it out. He said the guy was coming.
He called it out. He did. But that's big time history now, and we can move on. To bigger and better things. So, with all this going down with the name change, I wonder if the fans wonder, are there other teams being bothered by this too? Are there other teams having to sit down with the NFL about their name being changed due to racial slurs? Now, I point out again, Redskins is not a racial slur. It is a warrior Indian, mainly of the Blackfeet tribe. Okay? Redskins is a warrior Indian, a red man, warrior Indian. Get that, people. It's not racist. Redskin is a warrior, an Indian warrior. Get that. Okay? Now, other teams, like we went through the list of all the teams in the NFL, and we found some more shaky things, like let's speak about New England Patriots.
I mean, the Patriots, when you think about them, they would be. What is a Patriot exactly? Is a Patriot is a soldier for the American Army. I thought, if that's what it is, then it does have an ugly history as well, of abuse and mass murder and Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You dropped the atomic bomb on them, and likewise they did Pearl Harbor, so you retaliated, however it worked, but it's still not the cleanest history.
Yeah, so I agree. What I have to say about the name change, the Patriots, they were hitmen, they were contract killers, they were people that weren't for the freedom of the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For that. They were all against them, they were killing people for that. So I believe it needs to be changed. We also went on to speak about now I recently heard that the Browns were named after the Brown bomber, Joe Louis, but then it was also said that their first owner,
Paul Brown.
That's why they named them the Browns. Because of Paul
But he
Brown.
didn't want it named after him.
Exactly.
That's why that's questionable.
That's why it's very questionable. Because now they use that, but what we all know, let's be honest, what representation of Joe Louis? They don't have a mascot of Joe Louis. They have a mascot of a dog. What representation?
What is a Brown?
What is a Brown? Please tell me that. I The only brown I know is the brown I see here.
Hey,
That's the only brown I know. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to go racial slurs. I just want to know what is a brown. Please tell me what brown means to me. And I'm not trying to do any, slay y'all about any type of term or nothing. Talk down on y'all team. I just want to know. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know. Because if you're going to pay homage to Joe Louis, do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you had a boxing glove as your mascot. It's paying. You know what that boxing glove means? The brown bomber, a brown boxing glove. You know what I'm saying? That's the brown bomber. You paying homage to him.
What is a brown, y'all?
What is a brown? That's all I want to know.
What is a Cleveland brown? What I think it is.
Yeah, I understand what a lot of people think it is. How about the way they play every season?
What is a brown? What is a brown, lady?
Okay. We also went to the one I think should have went first. It's a Viking. Viking is an old English term for pirate. What the pirates do, they stole ships, they killed people, fed people to sharks, tortured them, killed women and children, point blank period. If that ain't injustice, I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't come for my team because we ready over here. We locked and loaded, Blackfeet Nation, all the way. We rolling with them. We ain't standing against them. We standing beside them in this right here, in this manner. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't sit up here and try to talk about one team. People will say, well, what other teams do you have in mind, or what other teams should be changed? I'll say the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys did some of the most racist and hurtful things to the the Native Americans that you could ever think of. You know what I'm saying? And what happened to them in return is what should have happened, because my thing is, if you come in my house and you try to kill my family, what do you think I'm gonna do to you? Just point blank period. That's natural reactions that people have, and then people try to put a label on it like it's this, it's that. No, call it for what it is. Cowboys should be changed back to Longhorns or Steers. You know what I'm saying? But
what about the Dallas Stars?
You know what I'm saying? That could go. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's the hockey team now.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know too much about that. But he changed, because if you go back in history and people don't just take what I'm saying as just get back. No, this is true. This is not get back. This is what I honestly feel, and this is what should make you dig a little deeper into what these teams mean and what they mean for their city. Everything that a city is, that's what it should be. I can see that. All the New York teams represent what New York City Giants, you know what I'm saying, Jets, the Buffalo Bills, all that represents them. The Atlanta Falcons, that represents them. The Baltimore Ravens, that represents them. We're going to sit up here and act like natives did not walk this land that we live here on in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, just because they were from Montana. We migrate every day. People from D.C., I catch them in Miami, D.C. And for us to do that, that would be a blatant disrespect to this fan base, to the Native Americans, most importantly, because they did that. As we continue down the list, we also talked about the Raiders. Raiders are their names, just exactly what it says, Raiders. They raided people. And it wasn't pretty when they did it. You see on the helmets that it's not pretty. You go into the black hole, you know it's not pretty. It's controversial, and it needs to be dealt with on a scale of understanding and sensitivity, not being insensitive to other people. So those were the main ones that we pointed out. Also with the Raiders, we also even have a pirate ship at the stadium. Glorifying piracy. What is glorifying about that?
Right.
That goes for the Raiders and the Vikings. All of those are pirates. What is glorifying about that?
Right.
Because they had these different bright colors. The Raiders were silver and black. All the Buccaneers, they were red and gray or brown or whatever they were. That's in purple and gold. That's glorifying to y'all. Sometimes people in their own neighborhoods, they didn't care. They were ruthless people and did not care about the well-being of others. Last but not least, we have 3 points here that we're going to get to before we end our first show here on Redskins Nature. First, next week's show, we will be implementing, and we want to know from y'all. This will be a weekly thing that we try to Redskins Nature every Thursday when we do a show, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like you to come out and show your support with your Redskins gear on. I don't care if you got a Redskins room, show your room, show your towels, whatever it is. We want all the paraphernalia, but you got the hashtag, the real Redskins rookies, and also the top 10 rookie season of the Redskins. Thank y'all for battling it out with us, digging it out here on our first year and better. This is only the #1 show right here, and we plan to keep this going on for as long as we live. Shout out to One Wolf. Shout out to Washington, D.C. Shout out to everybody out there watching right now. Definitely a shout out to the Washington Redskins. You have anything to say?
Yeah, just we're able to go with the truth. That's one thing we wanted to make sure we did in this first show. I mean, well, at least I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that effectively the name, it's a little bit more than this name thing than what meets the eye. I know it sounds racist, red skin. It sounds racist because you're saying skin, and effectively that is what the portion of what makes this whole race thing go. It seems like skin. So the fact that skin is being named, it makes people believe that, you know what I mean, that it's some type of racist stuff going on. But when you dig deeper into it,
that's right,
you get to know the truth. And I challenge anybody to go ahead, because I mean, even Joe Gibbs, if anybody knows Joe Gibbs, the late great Joe Gibbs, not late because he's not fast, but I mean the great Joe Gibbs. Meaning when I meant late, I mean his career. Sorry, let me say that. The great Joe Gibbs and the late great Jack King Cook, but specifically Joe Gibbs. You knew he was a man of God.
Yes, sir.
You know he's a man of God first and foremost. You know that, and you know he's not a racist. You know that. So if Joe Gibbs said it would be wrong to change it, then Joe Gibbs did his homework. So while y'all all out there, Redskin fans, talking trash and jump, make sure you go do your homework before you pick a side.
Don't just jump ship. Actually go do some research when y'all come on and talk. Do not forget Thursdays. It's always Throwback Thursdays, and we want to see y'all in your Redskins gear. And you have to put up the real Redskins. On our first ever show on Redskins Nation, broadcasting live from your nation's capital, Center Road. We checking out. Thanks, y'all.
Checking out. You know it.
Really kind of sorry it took to get a Doug Williams, but also, I was wondering why coaches they have more and here in this stadium, they have sold out for Redskins home games for every outing since 1966. They are 7-0 in the playoff games here in America. You got to go way back 44 years ago to when the Redskins lost a home playoff game in this city.